Hey everyone, it's Randy, and today I'm going to be doing the collector's tag. I've seen a few people do it on Instagram on their stories, but I figured that I would go ahead and do it in a video format because I've done it over there before, but I figured not all of you actually follow me over there, so I figured I would go ahead and answer these questions as a little thank you for 1,000 subs so you guys can get to know me. So, oh my god, literally thank you guys so much for 1,000 subs. That is absolutely insane. It blows my mind that actually 1,000 people are willing to watch me, so thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. And since I never did a 500 sub giveaway, I really do want to do a giveaway. I just like kind of been buying stuff for myself instead, but I really do want to do a giveaway, so I will probably like combine the two giveaways and just make this one bigger if I can. Basically, the collector's tag is something that where people send them numbers and then they answer it on their stories. There is a few variations of this, but I will be throwing up the one that I'm using on the screen. Feel free to go ahead and use this tag as well. I would love to see you guys answer these questions. I highly doubt I'm the first person to answer this in a video format anyway, so yeah, be my guest and go ahead. I'm just gonna jump right into it. Also, I'm gonna be looking at my phone because I don't remember the questions. So, first album I got. The first album I got was 21's 21 album, basically like essentially the self-titled album. It was a long time ago, and I remember I ordered it from some sketchy book site, and at the time I was just into 21 and not into K-pop itself, and I bought it because I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna listen to the English version of Can't Nobody, and that's it. Like basically being ignorant to like, oh, why would I listen to K-pop if I didn't understand it? And as I listened to the album, it just grew more and more on me, and let me tell you, that album slaps. It is so good. And when I got it, it wasn't like first press or anything, so it didn't come with the photo card, unfortunately. But yeah, I remember being so excited to get that album. First photo card you got. So the first photo card I got, the answer kind of always changes because I always forget which photo card I got first, but I know it was a Girls' Generation photo card. I can't remember if I had bought the Boys album or the Missy Taxi album first. If it was Mr. Taxi, then I got the Jessica photo card, and then for the Boys album, I believe I got Soo Young. How many albums do I have? If you guys don't know, like I collected a long time ago and then I stopped and then I started collecting again recently. So I think in total, I have about 200 plus albums, which isn't a lot compared to a lot of people on here. Like some people have shelves on shelves, but I just have like these two really big bins that sit in my closet. I really do want to do a video where I go through them and just, I haven't touched those bins in years, and I really just want to go down memory lane and open those bins. So let me know if you guys are interested in that. I'll be doing it regardless. This time around, I'm really only collecting Red Velvet albums, so I have all of their albums, however many that is. I think I have 16, give or take, like a few extra copies, and then I have 6 of the spring albums from Park Bom, and then 10 of the repackaged Park Bom albums. So in total, I think that's about 32 albums or so. But yeah, I do have a shitload of albums. I just like haven't kept track because it's been such a long time. And yeah, so how many photo cards do I own? I actually told myself when I was going through this tag that I was gonna count the photo cards that I have before I actually started the video. I do have a whole binder of photo cards like sitting under my bed from the first time around I was collecting. It's not completely full because I sold a lot of this stuff, but I also have photo cards that are sitting in albums that I haven't put into binders. So I'll just give a rough estimate of the Joy photo cards that I have. Okay, so I just went through my binder and I think it was about 63 photo cards, give or take some. Which member do I pull the most? So Red Velvet wise, I usually pull Wendy and Seulgi, Wendy a little bit more. I probably am 5 cards away from having a complete Wendy set just because she loves me so much. Like I literally pulled her from Bad Boy album, Red Summer, Russian Roulette. I bought an Ice Cream Cake album that had her photo card in it, and then did I say Rookie already? I think I said Rookie. Yeah, I think that's it, but mainly I pull Wendy. Where do you usually buy your albums and photo cards? I usually try to get my albums in person, so every time I go to LA, which is not often at all, I try to stop by Choice Music or Music Plaza. So I try to get my albums over there, but for things that I can't wait for, like when I wanted to pre-order Park Bomb's albums, I actually went through K-Town For You, and I really like that they have the DHL option, which if you're buying a bunch of albums, it's really helpful because it is essentially EMS but quicker and cheaper, and I absolutely love the DHL thing. For Japanese releases, I typically go through CD Japan. I've never really used anything else. And then for Photocards, I try to buy through eBay. I've done a whole video on where I get my Photocards. I will card that up here on my updated beginner's guide. So I typically try to buy my Photocards off of eBay or from other collectors on Instagram where I check the hashtags. Typically, I like to buy from collectors just because collectors don't typically rack up the price as much as eBay sellers. So yeah, that is just a brief explanation of where I get my stuff. Best buying experience. I really haven't had an outstanding buying experience that I was like, fuck yeah, I love this experience, I'm only gonna buy from this seller ever. But as far as proxy services go, I do like Japonica the most because they just work quickly. With proxy sites like Bunchung, they take forever to even look at your order, and then they send you an invoice, and then you have to pay the invoice, and then once you pay the invoice, then they actually buy the item. So I just really like the system that Japonica has set up. And I also mentioned K-Town For You, how I recently bought albums from them and I really like DHL. I will say I had a really pleasant experience recently where I bought a bunch of Park Bomb albums, like the repackaged ones, so I can get into the fan sign, and then the seller was really helpful. They even gave me a recommendation on how many albums I should buy, and they were really transparent about shipping costs and the album costs and like how they were gonna apply and stuff, so that was really helpful, and I ended up getting in, which was really exciting. I can't wait to get the package, but yeah, I will put the Instagram name somewhere on the screen. But yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend that seller because they were really helpful and they're super sweet. So now, worst buying experience. So I've had a few. You know, guys, I love to complain, so I feel like I could go on about this, but just anytime I buy an album from someone on Mercari or on eBay and they just throw it in the bubble mailer, I understand that it's called a bubble mailer, but that like really thin layer of bubble wrap that lines the inside is not gonna protect the album whatsoever. 9 times out of 10, whenever I receive my albums like that, there's always ding corners, and I absolutely hate it when sellers do that, so don't do that, respect your buyers. Another bad experience that I had was actually my most recent unboxing, and it was when I bought through a proxy seller called New Love Bot on Instagram, and basically I made the purchase in June, didn't receive my album until last month, April, and then when it arrived, it came damaged, and then the update on that is basically I messaged them and they were so shocked that they put bubble wrap around the paper folder but didn't give it any support, and they're like, well, I thought the bubble wrap was gonna support it, like I'm so surprised that it came damaged. And long story short, we just ended up on a $12 partial refund, and I paid $40 for that. Ideally, I was kind of aiming for $20, which is kind of pushing it, I know. But another bad buying experience that I've had is when I bought a Park Bomb fan sign slot. This is for the spring album, not the one I was just mentioning. But this one I went through was Idol's Fashion on Twitter, and I will throw the @ somewhere on the screen just as a warning because I personally wouldn't recommend them, 0 out of 10. And basically, I had bought a Park Bomb fan sign slot. It was confirmed for $200, and that included EMS and everything. And then basically, they went to the fan sign, and then they sent me a picture and they're like, well, we forgot to get her to sign your name. And in my opinion, that is the whole point of a fan sign slot, is so that you can get a personalized signature. If I wanted to get an autographed album, I would have gone on eBay and got one, but I paid money for you to go to a fan sign slot, for you to get my name signed, and like, you do this for a living. Like, you basically, this is your job. I don't understand. You went there with one purpose, and I didn't understand, and I was really disappointed, and I'm like, okay, well, since you didn't get her signature, like get her to sign my name, could I get a partial refund or anything? And they're like, okay, well, we'll get our friend to get her to sign it at the next fan sign. So the next fan sign came around, I believe it was her last fan sign. I am pretty positive that they faked the signature. They sent me a picture and I knew she was using a black marker at that fan sign, but the signature that they showed me was a silver Sharpie. So I don't have anything to compare it to, so I can't be like, oh, well, you guys faked it. And personally, I just don't feel like disputing that and going through that whole thing. So if you guys have any advice on what I should do let me know. It's just a tough situation because I feel like I don't have anything to compare it to. The signature looks really fishy. Idol's Fashion, I don't know. I feel like it's a give or take. Someone also recommended them to me, which is why I went through them, and somebody also told me that their friends got fake signatures. So I don't know what the deal is with Idol's Fashion, but I personally would just never go through them again. So yeah, that is just a heads up for all of you guys. Most expensive item I own. So the most expensive item I own is actually right here, my beloved Joy Polaroid. I'm not sure if it's even in focus, and so I absolutely cherish this. And the seller was originally trying to sell it for 500 bucks, but I got them down to 420, which is still kind of insane. But like a good price range for Joy Polaroids is like 350 to 450, I would say, or so like people have told me as well. And so yeah, I absolutely love this Polaroid. This is absolutely priceless to me, and she's so cute. There is like so many from this event, and I personally think that this is one of the better shots just because she looks so cute and soft in it, and I live for the soft look. When you began collecting. So the first time around when I was collecting, I believe it was 2012, I want to say. It was when I was in, I think, 6th or 7th grade. Oh my god, that just shows how old I am. And so, well, I'm only 20, I'm not that old, but anyways. So that was the first time around when I was collecting, and I think I stopped sophomore or junior year. And then this time around, I started collecting at the beginning of January, like late December, and it is actually surprising how far my collection has come in so little time. If only I was that dedicated and applied myself to other areas in my life. But yeah, that is about when I started collecting. My biggest purchase regret. So I would say that I haven't really had a major purchase regret. Nothing that I really lost sleep over that I was super annoyed at. But I think that my biggest purchase regret was this Perfect Velvet signed album. I say signed because after I posted the video, a lot of people corrected me and they're just like, well, those signatures look too perfect, or they look fishy, the pen pressure is too even, and so basically a lot of people came to the conclusion that these signatures were fake. And so I got this off of eBay and it was only $35, so I'm not losing a shit ton of money over it, so I'm not too worried about it. If the signatures were real, then great. If they were fake, then well, there's nothing I can do about it now. It's like obviously a really big bummer that it's not fake or that it's not real, because this is one of my favorite albums and I would love to have a signed copy, but that was just like my fault and not doing the proper research and just having too much optimism and too much faith in humanity to actually give me a real signed album. My latest purchase. So if you guys watched my last unboxing, I basically got scammed. Not really scammed, but I bought a set of the 30th anniversary cards, and basically it comes with 2 cards, and the card that I actually needed, which was the cafe card, didn't get sent with the other card. So I'm not really sure what the deal is with that, because the person that I'm in communication with, like that is communicating with the actual seller, hasn't been replying to me, or I don't know if like the seller hasn't replied to them. It's a really big mess. I'm going through at least 1 million people to get this card, so I'm not sure what the deal with that is, but I didn't want to risk not having the card, so I actually bought it through someone else on Instagram. I negotiated a price and actually purchased it from them, so hopefully that will be here in time and then I can finally film a collection video. What item were you the most excited to get? I would say the card that I was most excited to get was my Red Maryland icular. Basically, that card has been at the top of my grail list ever since I started collecting, and I think the card is absolutely gorgeous, so I just really wanted that card so bad. When I got it, I was so excited, and it's just a beautiful card. Like, how can you not be so eager to get that card? It is absolutely beautiful, and yeah, I was so excited that I even overpaid for that card because I see it up on Bunchang now and it's significantly cheaper, but there's like nothing I can do about it at this point. So my most precious possession. So I would say my most prized possession, aside from the Polaroid, I really do love this signed Joy ball that I got at the Redmare concert. Not only does it have value, but it has a lot of sentimental value to me as well. I don't know if holding up the ball will like make make it focus or if you guys will be able to see it, but yeah, I keep it in this thing because the signature was starting to wear off, but this is probably my most prized possession because it's not something that you can just get online. Like, it's not a merch item that you can get anywhere, that you have to be at the concert to get it. And so I really cherish this because one, Joy signed it, and two, because Kevin gave it to me. So that was just like a really generous thing on his part. So yeah, I absolutely love this ball. If you could keep just one item of your collection, what would it be? So that would probably be my Joy Polaroid, just because it's one of a kind. If I were to sell my entire Joy collection, I could always like find the cards again and buy them back, but with the Polaroid, it would be a lot harder to find again. So just because there's only one in existence, like, that makes me feel so special, and I feel so lucky to have it. So that would probably be the one thing that I would keep in my collection. What is the dream piece you want for your collection? So I basically pretty much have all like the Joy cards that I want, and I think if I were to pick something, it would probably just be the automatic lenticular. I feel like I've been talking about that in all of my videos, but that is just the one card that I need to complete my Joy collection, and I've basically just decided that I'm never gonna obtain it because it's so hard to come by. And yeah, that is just the one card that I need, and so right now that is my dream piece. That is my holy grail piece right now. What is your favorite album cover? So I would probably say my favorite album cover has to be this, and I am not holding the album backwards because this cover deserved to be the front of the album. I absolutely adore this. I love the aesthetic for this era, and I like, coming from a graphic designer, I absolutely love this, and whoever did this did a phenomenal job. Like, they need a raise. SM should have bought them a whole mansion. But yeah, I absolutely love this cover. This cover is alright, but this one deserved to be the front. So yeah, I really love this. I loved how colorful it was. What is your favorite photo card? So I would say my favorite photo card is probably a tie between the Red Mirror Lenticular, but I don't know if you would count that as a photo card because it's technically a magnet, her Smile Box card, or the Pantone Wallet card. Just because like those two cards, she is like smiling and she's so soft in it. She's so freaking cute, and I absolutely love it. So those are probably my two favorite cards. Do you have any dolls? I don't have any dolls. I would love to have one of those plushie, I'm assuming that they mean one of those plushie dolls. I would love to have one of Joy. I just don't know where to get them. They're like not up on my priority list that I would die for one, but I do think they're super cute. I would love to have one. So if any of you guys have a recommendation on where to get one, do let me know. Which item are you willing to buy now? Automatic lenticular, I already went through the whole spiel about why I need that card and why I want that card. So yeah, I'll just cut that short and sweet. Do you have fan site merch? So yeah, I do have fan site merch, and I actually have these two fans. I thought they were really gorgeous, but I got these from someone who, I believe these are from a Chinese fan site that someone told me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I have these two, and then I also have a photo book from WNC Joy Daylight Day Bright, the 2018 photo book, and I absolutely love it. I would love to get more photo books in the future. The reason why I love photo books is, well, one, because the pictures are absolutely gorgeous, but I just imagine me, like, once I get my own place, I'll just have it on the coffee table, and people will just be able to look at it when they're over at my house, and they'll be like, damn, who the fuck is this? Like, she is gorgeous. And I'll be like, yep, that is Park Soo-young. What packaging do you love the most? I love the jewel cases. I love it so much. SM just keeps doing us right. It's like, I would probably say my favorite packaging is the Summer Magic Limited Edition, just because that is like the most innovative packaging that SM has given us. Granted, it's not really that innovative, but compared to what they've given us in the past with the jewel cases, I personally love it how it came with the two photo cards, came with the whole standee situation, and absolutely adore that packaging. In terms of like K-pop in general, I don't typically pay attention to other groups and like their albums. I haven't seen any packaging that has blown me away absolutely, but I do look at packaging and I'm always like, why hasn't SM given us that? Why does NCT get these big ass albums that have like the individual members' faces that are essentially like vinyls, but SM is over here giving us jewel cases? I just don't understand. What packaging do you dislike the most? This is an obvious answer. This is a no-brainer. Every time I see someone answer this question on Instagram, it's always the same answer. It is all of Red Velvet's jewel case packaging. I absolutely hate Western artist CDs because they always come in the jewel cases. And so like when I was a K-pop fan, I was like, fuck yeah, like this is such amazing packaging. Western artists would never. And then here SM is paying us dust and just giving us jewel case after jewel case. And I know they're capable of better packaging because they give it to their other artists. I just don't understand why we keep getting stuck with the jewel cases. I would much prefer the format where the booklet is glued inside of the album and it has the CD on the other side. Like, I think that packaging is 10 times better than the jewel cases because jewel cases are so fragile and I absolutely hate it. Which member do you collect the most? Irene. Which is your collection goal for this year? I'd love to get at least like 2 more Polaroids this year. Ideally some from the Perfect Velvet era or the Perfect Red Velvet era, just because you guys know how I feel about Perfect Velvet. I don't even need to go into that whole spiel. But also I would love one during Ice Cream Cake because I absolutely love the blonde hair. I have like this new appreciation for it, so I would love a Polaroid from that as well. I really do want to get the automatic lenticular. I feel like I've talked about that 10 million times in this video, but I would love to have that as well. Do you collect concert goods? I would say I collect concert goods, like if you consider the ticket holder and the wallet holder from Red Mirror as concert goods, then yeah, I mean I primarily bought that for the Photocards, but that's why SM puts Photocards in them anyways. How are you feeling with your collection right now? I would say I'm pretty content with my collection. It's at a really good place and I am content with it being 99.9% complete. So I mean, if you just disregard the automatic lenticular, if you just forget that it exists, then I do essentially have a complete collection. Granted, there is like a few things that are in my collection, like there's a few signed goods and cards that Joy has and Red Velvet has, but I personally only collect things with her face. So it would be really nice to have, like, for example, her Lucky Box card, but I won't jump through hoops to get that card. Okay, literally my mom was rearranging the whole kitchen and all the pots and everything as I'm filming this video. And so for the last question, it is, how do you see your collection in 10 years? So I personally see me still having my collection just because the first time around when I was collecting, I sold like some of the higher end stuff, but I only kept majority of it just because I didn't see it worth selling anyways. I personally do still see myself having the collection. I will be 30 in 10 years, which is kind of like an insane thought. I just don't see me doing anything with my Joy collection. But yeah, that is it for the tag, and this was an absolutely long video. If you guys stuck till the end, thank you guys so much. Again, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subs. That is insane. I'm not sure if I will have a community tab up before then, but I really just want the community tab so I can interact with you guys. But until then, do follow me on Instagram because I do a lot of interacting on there. If you guys want to message me, if you guys want to talk, do let me know. And for those of you guys who don't have collectors Instagrams, I will go ahead and put my personal down there as well if you guys want to keep in touch or if you want to follow me and keep tabs on my life. I don't really post too much on there, but can we just take a moment to acknowledge how comfortable I've gotten in front of the camera? Literally, I watched my first video now and I'm like, what was going on? Like, I look so awkward and scared. I was like fidgeting with my hands a lot, like scratching them and stuff, and it was just a really painful video to watch now that I like go back and watch them. So yeah, thank you guys so much. That was all possible thanks to your support, and do leave me comments, let me know what you think, or if you guys do this video yourself, do send it to me on Instagram or comment it down below because I would love to see it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Much love and peace out.